All right, in this explainer, we're going to tackle one of the biggest, if not the biggest, drains on your energy and your performance. And that is the constant, absolutely exhausting argument that's always happening inside your own head. To do this, we're going to use a really powerful framework from Michael A. Singer's incredible book, The Untethered Soul.
I mean, really think about that. What if that critic was also your nonstop advisor, your biggest fearmonger, and the narrator for every single thing you do? Well, for pretty much all of us, this isn't some what-if scenario. It's just our daily reality. We all have this voice. And the key to getting your power back isn't to shut it up, it's to completely change your relationship with it.
So Michael Singer has this brilliant name that just perfectly captures what this voice is like. He calls it the inner roommate. You know the one, is that incessant mental chatter that's with you from the second you wake up right up until you try to fall asleep, if it even lets you.
Does that sound a little familiar? Yeah, that is the roommate in action. It'll take both sides of every single argument, it creates problems out of absolutely nowhere, and it lives in this constant low-grade state of panic. It honestly doesn't even care which side it's on as long as it gets to keep on talking. And this, right here, illustrates the whole problem so perfectly. When we try to fight the voice, what are we fighting it with? More thoughts. It's literally just the roommate yelling at itself. It's a battle you can never, ever win on its terms, because the voice is the battlefield, it's the weapons, and it's both of the armies. So it's crucial to understand what we're actually dealing with here. This isn't just you thinking things through. It's a compulsive pattern. It's that part of you that has to narrate the entire world, judge every little move you make, and worry about a future that hasn't even happened. It is the source of so much unnecessary stress. Okay, pay attention, because this is the single most important shift you can possibly make. For most of your life, you've probably identified with that voice. You've assumed its worries are your worries, its fears are your fears. Well, the path to freedom starts with this profound realization. It's all just been a case of mistaken identity. Seriously, just pause and think about that for a second. Right now, you can hear a voice in your head. You can even tell it to say hello. But who is the one noticing that? Who is aware that there's a voice? That awareness, that silent listener, that is the real you. And this distinction is everything. On one side, you've got the loud, neurotic roommate, totally lost in its own melodrama. And on the other side, you have the witness. It's always silent, it's calm, and it just observes. Now, this witness isn't some new thing you have to create. It's what you've always been. Real power doesn't come from controlling the roommate. It comes from remembering that you are the witness. This picture of the galaxy is such a perfect metaphor. You see all the stars, the planets, the cosmic dust, all the noise. That's the roommate. But what about the vast, silent, infinite space that's holding all of it, without being affected by any of it? That's the witness. That's you. It's the space in which all experience happens. So if we can't win by yelling at the voice to shut up, then what on earth do we do? It's simple. We stop believing it. The goal isn't to get a better roommate or a quieter one. The goal is to stop taking life advice from someone you know is a complete maniac. You know, we've really given our minds a raw deal. We've basically said, hey, mind, your job is to make sure nothing bad ever happens, that everybody likes me, and that I never, ever feel uncomfortable. That's an impossible task. So of course it's neurotic. We've given it a job that guarantees failure and constant anxiety. And this is the result. The advice your roommate is giving you is fundamentally broken because it's coming from a place of fear. It's like taking financial advice from somebody who's totally broke and terrified of everything. Why would you ever do that? And yet we do it all day long with our own minds. So here it is, the new management plan effective right now. You are not firing the roommate from existing. You can't, but you are firing it from its job as your advisor. You are revoking its security clearance. You can hear it, you can notice it, but you no longer take direction from it, period. Okay, so getting this intellectually is one thing, but how do you actually put it into practice? How do you create that space between you and the voice when you're in the heat of the moment? Here is an absolutely brilliant exercise from Singer. I want you to actually personify that voice. Give it a name, a face. Imagine it as a real person sitting right next to you, just nagging you, worrying, complaining 24/7. Now, after spending just a couple of hours with this person, would you trust their judgment on anything important? The answer is almost certainly no, right? This exercise creates that objective distance you need to just stop taking it so seriously.
Now, to build this muscle of awareness, you can use simple triggers all day long. These are just tiny moments to practice. So every time you get in your car, before you even turn the key, just take 1 second and notice the witness. When the phone rings, before you answer, just step back and observe. Each of these little moments builds a powerful new habit of centered awareness.
So, what does this all mean for peak performance, for mastery, for living an absolutely extraordinary life? Well, it means everything. This isn't just some fluffy spiritual concept. This is a core strategy for reclaiming your power. First, you achieve what's called radical presence. When you're not lost in all that endless chatter about the past and the future, you are fully here, right now. You can give your complete attention to the task, to the person in front of you, to the opportunity of this very moment. That, my friends, is a superpower. Second, you gain effortless clarity. Just imagine making decisions without that constant filter of fear, of doubt, of insecurity. You get to see what is, not what your roommate is afraid might be. Your intuition gets louder and your choices become way more decisive. And finally, this is the ultimate prize: unshakable power. When your internal state isn't dependent on whether your roommate is happy or sad, you become truly powerful. Your state comes from your center, from the witness, and it cannot be shaken by what's happening outside or by all the noise inside. And that brings us to the most important takeaway of all. This freedom is entirely up to you. The only price you have to pay is letting go of that old, noisy identity that you thought was you. It's about choosing to identify with the silent, powerful witness instead, and no one else can do it for you. And of course, we have to give full credit for this absolutely life-changing framework to Michael A. Singer and his incredible book, The Untethered Soul. If any of this is resonating with you, I highly, highly recommend you dive deeper into his work. So let's end with this. As you're listening to my voice right now, your roommate has probably had a dozen different opinions about this explainer. It is talking right now. The question is, are you lost in its conversation, or are you the silent witness, simply noticing that a voice is talking? The choice, in this moment and every single moment after, is yours.